We're moving into part 2 of the lesson now on page 290 called Working with Blended Objects. And first we're going to create a blend with specified number of steps. To work here we're going to turn off viewing the ship layer, turn the eye off in front of it, and make sure you have the water layer as your targeted layer. We're going to be creating a shape along the bottom that will look like waves. And to help us with that, they've started already by creating two objects underneath your artboard. They're laying out here in the gray area. And I want to zoom in on those. I'm going to use Command or Control and the plus sign key on my keyboard to zoom in a little so I can see those better. And now you need to get your blend tool. The blend tool looks like a square and a circle and another shape in between the square and the circle to indicate that you can change shapes with the blend tool. It's also indicating to you that you can change colors by going from white to gray to black. We're going to be changing shapes, not colors, for this one. So once you get the tool, you don't have to select the shape ahead of time. Actually, the tool is going to do that work for you. So you come in here on top of the big shape, the one on the left here, and you'll notice we have an asterisk there. And that asterisk indicates we're ready to start a new blend. So I'm going to click on that shape. It's going to look like nothing has happened. But we've now targeted that to tell that to be part of our blend, the beginning part of the blend. Then we're going to go over to the smaller object, and your mouse now has, instead of an asterisk, it has a plus sign. And the plus sign indicates to me that it is ready to add onto the blend. And so I'm going to go ahead and click. And at this point what we have here are two new shapes have been added by default between your first and your second shape. You can see the green outline to indicate the big shape and the little shape, and a green line that goes from the middle of one to the middle of the other. That green line is considered to be the spine. And this whole thing together now has become what they consider to be one object, which is the blended object. Now, with those still selected, we're going to change the number of shapes in between by going to the Object menu, go down to Blend, choose Blend Options, and here with Blend Options, in spacing, you can have different ways of blending. We're going to go with specified steps, but we're going to set the number instead of 2 to 15 steps. And then we're going to click OK, and we're going to see we have a whole series of new shapes that have been created here. At this point, what we want to do is get our regular selection tool and double-click anywhere in the middle of this blend object to enter the isolation mode. And that's going to let us work on this as ungrouped objects one at a time to let us edit the original ones of this. We're turning on to page 292 now, and we need to change our view to the outline view. The reason we're moving to the outline view is it's going to be much easier to select this one little object here, because we're going to in a minute move that. So we're going to select that one little object by clicking on the edge of it so we can see that it is selected, because there's green areas around it, green highlighting and green handles around it. Now we're going to, now that we've selected the edge of that, we're going to go back to the View menu and we're going to choose the Preview view. Now I have that selected, and with the Preview view I'm going to now drag the smaller object, but before you drag it, watch your mouse closely. You do not want to see a square below the tail of your mouse arrow. Instead, you want to see your mouse that looks like an arrowhead, not a bent arrow, not a resizing scale arrow. So it might be helpful to zoom in even more to help you see when you've got that arrowhead, you're ready to go. Now I'm going to pick this up and move it to the left, and I want to carry it until it's just about in the middle of that original shape that I had there. So you kind of have to guess where the middle is, but when you release your mouse it should look something like this. This is, we're going to deselect now by going to the Select menu, choose Deselect, and then we're going to go to hit the Escape key to get out of the isolation mode and go back in. I'm going to make my screen smaller, Command or Control minus sign so I can see that, because we're just about in position where we're going to be moving that in our next step, and that'll be in your next video.